Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Tom Matthews.
And I'm Joanne Taranto. This morning, we wanted to continue our series of working with sellers and talk about the second appointment. So we've already come to your home, had a tour of your property and a nice conversation with you. And now we are coming back for our second appointment. Now, we like to call this a two-step approach, and this is our preference for how to work with clients. It can be done in other fashions. It can be done in one step. But two steps we feel is more comprehensive in the way that we like to approach it. And so on this second visit, we come back to your property or we meet in a mutual place and we sit down and we have this nice conversation. So what do we start with?
We like to start with marketing.
Yeah.
We have the team, we have a 10-person marketing team, and we know that your house in Concord is really special. And we have our marketing team make a personalized marketing plan. And we want to first go through that. And the reason we do that is that we've been selling for 20 years. And we know the minute we talk about the price range, that's all you're focused on. So we're gonna make you hold back a little bit, and we're gonna talk about the marketing plan. We're gonna talk about how we're gonna get eyeballs on your property, what we feel based on our experience will be most effective for your property. And we're gonna take you through that, 5-10 minutes on that. Really make sure that you understand, have any questions on that. We're gonna go through that. Next, we're gonna jump into pricing. And for Joanne and I, pricing, no home has an exact number. You get an exact number when a willing and able buyer writes you a check. That's when you have an exact number when you go to the registry of deeds. Other than that, you have a range. And so, Joanne, how do we come up with that range? What are some tools we bring to the seller to showcase this?
So when we do pricing, we like to start with kind of a macro view of the market, a bird's eye view of what's going on in your particular area. And, specifically, what are we seeing for averages and medians in the market? Average sale price, median sale price, list price, price per square foot. All of these tools are going to render different values because you can't rely on just one tool. If you lived in a tract community in Texas where there are 500 homes and there are 3 different styles, then yes, this would be a lot easier. But in Massachusetts, we have completely unique properties run right next to the other. It's pretty unusual for us to have like a subdivision or something that we could use where there are like kind homes, unless it's, condos. So we like to look at a number of different metrics, and we have our own spreadsheet that we have created over the last 20 years that really shows the data and then can help us explain that data to you. We also use a program to tailor some of the valuations to your home by making some adjustments.
Yep.
We were trained 20 years ago by our real estate appraiser. So we got a lot of really great skills from her to be able to adjust for different features in homes like bathrooms or garage bays or finished basements and whatnot. And so after we have all of those values, we then kind of work backwards. And something that's unique about Tom and I is that when we do a pricing analysis for your home, we will each individually do our own analysis. And then we come together and talk about, what do you think this home should be listed for? What do you think the house sale price is? And we won't talk about this until we're both done with our reports, because we found that one of us can influence the other. So we both have to have our individual reports ready, and then we sit down before we come to you and we talk about our individual analyses and then come up with the final plan.
And that pricing model, I'll tell you, we've spent so much time on it, it's become extremely accurate. But just so the consumer knows, we also look at Zillow, we look at Redfin, we look at Realtor.com, we look at RPR. We're looking at the different automated valuation models so that we know what the consumers are looking at. And then we're doing our own research as well. We want to be as comprehensive as possible. Pricing your home right is literally the most important thing.
The most important thing you do in the entire process.
I don't care what else you do. If you don't price it right, you can throw millions of dollars into marketing and it's not going to work. So you really have to be incredibly precise with your pricing. And this is an important part. And again, with the 2-step process, having toured your home, it gives us an opportunity to look at the unique features your home has. Have you installed granite countertops? Did you change the cabinetry? you can't get that type of information from looking at Zillow.
Right.
All Zillow looks at is your square footage, your lot size, and the homes around you. And if you live on the border of another town, they're pulling in that other town, and it just throws values off. So we really want to be comprehensive. And then, kind of the last thing we're doing on this visit is asking for your business. We're salespeople, and you need to hire us to engage in a contract, and it's a mutual contract. We're going to work together, but you can't be afraid to kind of ask for that business. Go ahead, Joanne. I see it on the lips that you want to say something, so please.
So, the last piece is kind of deciding on a strategy, right? So if you're planning to list in the near future, we can talk about, well, this is the date that makes sense. And then we can start setting calendar dates and expectations and getting you completely onboarded into our system. So one of the things that we find important on this second business is that we do leave with a commitment from you to work together, because there's a lot of other work that needs to be done before your house comes to the market. And we want to make sure that we are not rushing it. Because we found over the last 20 years where we have rushed with people, this is when mistakes happen. This is when, online feeds get messed up, and we need to be really intentional and methodical about how we put homes on the market so that we don't make any mistakes. And if we do, we can catch them quickly, because we also have a process of checking for mistakes after we go live. So for us, it's the second visit is really when we dive into the specifics about your home and we make the decision to work together.
Yeah. And so that is a great recap and awesome talk about the strategy. So what happens next? So the next step is going to be staging. And we're going to come back to you with another video to discuss the staging process. This happens after you've signed the contract with us. You've engaged us to be your realtor, and our next phase will be for Joanne and I to come back and help you stage your property and preparations for photography. So I want to thank you for watching another edition with Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Tom Matthews.
And I'm Joanne Taranto. Please be sure to like and subscribe.